Alright there, your old mate Yogi here. Once again bringing you an episode of My Humble Opinion, where I give my little overviews of Let's Looks on the Humble Monthly Choice Bundle. Theoretically I'll do other bundles sometimes, it's only happened once. Right now we're looking at March 2023, the last game I'll be trying from there, because remember I've already tried, what do they call it, Jurassic World Evolution 2 on channel, so I'm not trying that. Rogue Lords, a roguelike where you play the devil controlling evil geniuses, apparently. Give it a look. I hope it's better than Golden and that bloody other one that I looked at yesterday. Can't even remember what it's called now, it's so horrible. Alright, here we go, Rogue Lords. Empty save slot. Save slot.
Months ago, mortals rose up against me and chased me down. They were led by demon hunters, wretched beings incapable of seeing the beauty of a corrupted world. My creatures and demons gave everything they had in the fight, but it was not enough. I was forced to leave the world of the living. Weakened, I returned to hell to survive. For years, I consumed fresh souls to regain my power, but their numbers are fast diminishing. I cannot wait anymore. I must reclaim my rightful place. It is time to gather my forces once more. Those who signed a pact with me will do as I order. They will spread terror and corruption in my name. The time has come for my revenge.
Right. Welcome to your fortress. From here you can launch adventures from the map of the new world. Read about your servants in the Chart of Disciples, and follow your progress in the Altar of Conquests. Like the map to begin a mission. Here we go. This map depicts a new world. The Demon Hunters put an end... Don't tell my wife we're going against Demon Hunters, she's a big Supernatural fan. Demon Hunters put an end to your reign in this year, 10 years ago. Oh, in this region 10 years ago, I was going to say. It's here that you'll choose missions for your disciples in their quest to avenge you. The further you progress in the game, the stronger your adversaries become, and the overall difficulty of the game increases. Yeah, logical. There are some games that get it the opposite way around, you know. What is it? Hunts, Call of the Wild or something like that. Starting out as a new hunter is bloody difficult, but as you get more skills, it becomes easier. For the moment, your adversaries are so weak, so take advantage of it and hit hard. Launch your first mission.
Many years ago, I was banished from the terrestrial plane by Van Helsing and his demon hunters. Since then, I have reigned over hell while awaiting the hour of my return. But things are changing. The souls of the deceased no longer descend into hell. Have humans become more virtuous?
Unlikely.
Or is there a new force conspiring to usurp my power?
More like it.
I recall into service my disciples, powerful beings who once made a pact with me. They can move freely in this region called the New World, where I was undone by Van Helsing. They will find him and exact my revenge upon him.
I like the voiceover that they're using for the intros. I don't know if there's going to be that in the game or not. Alright. Let's see. Difficulty. Enemies have plus 0 HP and SP, plus 0%, no uprising between zones, 0% chance of being caught in ambush. I can't go to anything else other than normal. Default mode for Rogue Lords, devilishly demanding journey that will challenge your devil's powers, etc. Apprentice mode will be available some other time. I've got Dracula, Headless Horseman, and I can select from... Oh, I could select from these, except two of them are there. I have to choose Bloody Mary. A lot of locked disciples and a random disciple. Interesting. Launch the mission. We're basically doing the tutorial. These are only 5 to 30 minute looks to just see if I want to go further with the game. So far I'm intrigued. You control a group of disciples and choose one to represent the group. You navigate from zone to zone by choosing your route in the map. You have to complete the main activity in a zone before you can move on to the next. Move close to the main activity to launch it. Alright. Okay, you have to, instead of clicking somewhere, you actually have to hold down the left button. That makes sense. And it doesn't have WASD controls, unfortunately. Book chapter. Main activity. Completing this chapter unlocks access to the following zones. What following zones? Hopefield.
Through the renewed link with my disciples, I become aware of the situation in the new world. The demon hunters have increased their hold on the population. They are everywhere, on the roads, in the villages, patrolling and imposing a summary justice. On the other hand, no one has heard of the 6 artifacts stolen from me by Van Helsing during our last confrontation. If he is using them, he does not boast of it. My attention is drawn towards a new religion. The Sanctualumen, as it is called, is increasing its hold on humans. My disciples decide to go to one of its sanctuaries in order to learn more.
I'm guessing Sanctualumen is something like Sacred Light or Sanctity of Light or something like that. Okay. The Awakening. Go to the Sanctuary of Sanctualumen to investigate. Click on the map to investigate, to consult it. The book map shows the zones and 2 paths for each chapter. It also shows the special effects that might affect certain zones during gameplay. The first zone in each book is always combat. Right, so we've got combat, Styx Fountain, book event, Grim Reaper, book chapter, and that gives you a split. Hover your mouse over a few zones to see more detail. I've done that. And then click that to minimize. And then we've got to go up here. I keep forgetting to hold it down. That's marginally annoying, but not a big problem. Alright. I guess we're going up this way, are we? Diabolic Essence. Diabolic Essence is your main resource. If you run out, you lose. Well, that's not good. Essence can be lost during combat or used to boost your influence over the world of mortals. Souls can be won during combat or events. They can be traded to the Grim Reaper to obtain skills, increase the rarity of skills you already have, or obtain relics. This sounds like it's got some relatively deep strategy, which I'm enjoying the sound of. As you accumulate events and combats, the terror you inspire grows. Each increase produces a terror effect on the zones of on a subsequent night, and gives you advantages. For every 4 increases, you gain a level of terror, permanently improving your chance to obtain higher rarity skills, and you receive a relic. Okay. Guess we're going up here to the ranch. Combat. In activity completing this unlocks access to the following zones. I think that's badly phrased. Following zones sounds like they're going to give you a list. But I guess it's saying unlocks, future zones. The zones further on than this. There are better ways of saying it. That's not really a complaint. It's just noticing a language thing. Select this approach to earn a skill at the end. All right, main activity. Okay. Excuse me. Choose your approach, and it will determine which rewards you receive. Frontal attack, terror in effect for 5 nights. The amount of enemy waves to defeat win the combat. Okay. And that will be to beat 2. Set up an ambush. The amount of it's only 1 and get a skill. Or attack discreetly for 38 souls, also for 1. If it wants me to go ambush, I'll do that.
I'm terribly sorry, but it seems your time has come.
At the beginning of each turn, your enemies announce the actions they are going to launch. You have 5 action points to share among your disciples in order to thwart their attack. Once you're finished, your enemies play their announced action. Oh, so you get to go first, okay. Unless you mean spend them and then it'll do it in a certain order, I'm not sure. We've got 3 of us to 1 of them. we have got, apart from Mary, more health. I guess that's stamina or magic, one of the two. Once you finish, okay, then a new turn begins with your enemy's announcement of their intentions. Okay. Okay, so we have a Marauder. Select Bloody Mary to choose a skill for her to launch.
What game are we playing?
Select Stabbing. First Mirror. Twist of Fate. Stabbing. And select there. That's 10. All combatants have 2 gauges of health. 1 physical and 1 spiritual. Oh, it's spiritual, okay. Inflicting physical damage reduces the number of health points, while inflicting spiritual damage reduces the number of spiritual points. To defeat an enemy, must reduce their health points or spiritual points to 0, and then inflict the same type of damage at least 1 more time. Finish them up. Alright, Dracula.
I'm parched.
Bleeding Heart. 3 to 8 hit points. That's only 6. Recharging skills. When you use a skill, you deplete its charge and it can't be used again until it's recharged. Each disciple possesses a recharge action that replenishes all their skills. Recharge actions vary from one disciple to another. For example, some have bonus effects that change their cost. Alright, use the recharge action on Dracula.
Darkness makes me stronger.
You have no more action points. When you have no more action points, you return. Ow. You bugger, you shot me! Select Dracula to use a skill. And once again, Bleeding Heart. He's vulnerable. When an enemy is reduced 0 health points or spiritual points, they do not die. You have to administer a death strike by inflicting damage on the same gauge. The disciples are also subject to vulnerability status, but they do not die when they receive a death blow. Instead, you consume diabolic essence to keep them alive so they can complete their mission. Alright. Well, I suppose we can do Dracula again. I suppose that's what we've got to do. It won't let me. Wait. I can do that.
Couldn't have ended any other way. Simple mortal trinkets. You'd better find a use for them.
Each type of activity has its own set of specifications. At the end of each combat, you'll receive a reward, depending on your choice at the time of approach. You will regularly have a choice of 3 elements during reward phases. Choose one. Alright, we can do Burst of Anger for Headless Horseman. Target all enemies for 2 times 5 to 8 HP. Not bad. Twist of Fate. Alteration on Bloody Mary. Reduce the impending attack by 2. Yeah. That doesn't seem that powerful, but I suppose it could be. Oh, and you scale it up to years 4 and 6, okay. And Fury Pang on Dracula. Deal 2 times 2 to 3 HP. It's low damage though. I'm gonna take Burst of Anger. And so you can only have a certain number as well. Move to the next zone. This is deeper than thought. As to the graphics, I like them. It's cartoony. It's not, you know, I mean, you're not looking at Hogwarts Legacy here or any other top-notch. I suppose there are better than Hogwarts Legacy, but you know what I mean. Top-notch graphical game. But it really works for what we've got. I like it. The music works nice. The sound effects are fine. The voiceover I'm enjoying. The world is intriguing and the characters, you don't... I mean, there are games where you play evil, but this is a nice selection. I like it. Move to the next zone. X Fountain. It disappeared. Alright. Off we go. Extra activities. Some zones of an extra activity is optional and you can be carried out before or after the main activity. Launch Snoring Camp. Alright. It's a combat activity. Choose your approach. It will determine which rewards you receive at the end of combat. Choose more skills. Okay.
I'm terribly sorry, but it seems your
I just
time.
noticed she's got a mirror. I love it. Declan's about to be hit with serious damage. There are several ways to reduce inflicted damage. 1 with skills that immediately diminish damage, and 2 with statuses that protect your disciples or negatively affect your enemies. Select Mary. Mary is bloodthirsty, which translates to physical skills that can only target the weakest adversaries. Mary also possesses a mirror that she places in front. Placed in front of the enemy of her choice when she recharges. Once her mirror is in place, all the skills she plays are reproduced on the mirror's target. I'm just looking at what is easier to go by. Inquisitor's got slightly more health than Spirit. Martyr has more Spirit than health. And Priestess is equal. Alright, select the mirror. Select the enemy as a target.
Mirror, mirror, who shall die tonight?
Okay. Select Twist of Fate. Select the enemy as target. Okay. Now what? Select Stabbing. Select the enemy as target.
I'm going to...
Turn. 10 damage, that's not fun. He's in trouble. The Headless Horseman. The Headless Horseman is a battle-hardened soldier who can take blows and dish them out. He gets reductions in damage and provocation status that allow him to redirect attacks to himself. When he suffers damage, his bitterness increases. At maximum, his bitterness enables him to launch extremely potent skills. Select Horseman.
Who should I kill?
Select On Guard. Apply provocation, apply 1 shell. Shell reduces damage suffered by 4. Okay. Choose a target. Select the Headless Horseman as a target.
On guard.
Certain effects allow you to apply a status to a character. These can have a number of charges or a duration in turns. If they have charges, they lose 1 charge each time they are triggered. If they have a duration, they can be launched several times. There are 6 random status types: Enhancement, Protection, Cure, Maneuver, Control, and Weakness. A character can hold 1 status of each type. If another status of the same type is applied, it replaces the first. Again, this is relatively deep. Some just let you do anything, you know? If it's the same, its duration is a number of charges increases. I'm assuming this is an indie game. I haven't actually checked. If so, it's quite impressive for indie. Select Slash. Select the enemy.
June is coming to its close.
Bleeding will kill the enemy. Your turn. He's down. Dracula's vulnerable. Dracula is a leader of men and was once a bloodthirsty warrior. He has earned his longevity by being extremely cautious in potentially deadly situations. This experience has given him a number of skills that benefit his whole team. When he becomes vulnerable, the warrior reawakens and some of his skills become devastating. Select Dracula. Select Bloodlust. Apply 2 Vampirism. Each time the holder inflicts physical damage, they also heal themselves by 3 to 5 points. And sharpening, plus 4 HP inflicted by skills. Select Dracula. Alright, so that's a buff, I get it. Go into Devil mode.
Let's get down to business.
The Devil isn't held back by the same rules as mortals. He can cheat the interface. This allows him to modify his health points and spiritual point gauges, recharge skills, move statuses around. The only limit to his powers is the cost in Diabolic Essence. One of your Devil powers allows you to move statuses between combatants. To do so, grab one of the combatant statuses under its HP and SP gauges and drag it under the gauge of the combatant you want to give it to. Move the... Oh, I can do it from there. Oh, I see the opening there, yeah.
The devil is in the details.
Slide the health point bar to 0. Which health point bar? This one. No.
I'm listening, Master.
Oh, the priestess's health point bar. I got it. Oh. It's not going to look well for them, is it?
My power is
Cost me
absolute.
10. Select Bleeding Heart. And select her, because she's on 0 hit points. And he gains 10 health, does he? Okay. End turn.
What's keeping you from ridding us of this vermin, disciples?
When a disciple is vulnerable and about to suffer damage, the devil protected at the cost of as many diabolic essence points as inflicted damage. The disciple is not vulnerable and about to suffer more damage than its current SP or HP. The damage surplus is cancelled. However, an attack hitting several times counts as many damage cases. Yeah, that makes sense. Finish the fight by your own means. Alright, Horseman. We can do slash. New burst of anger. We're better off going for health than that. In fact, we might only be able to go for health. Deal 9 to 14 hit points. What can Dracula do? Anything useful? 2 times 6 to 7. How many goals do we have? That's 2, but where's the count of what we've got left? I'm not seeing the count.
What
Bloody
game
Mary.
are we playing?
That's weak. Oh, it uses what's above them. Okay. Inflict. I get it. Now you... This might be enough. Steel 9 to 14.
In the fight?
He's vulnerable. We go to her.
Those humans didn't have a chance.
Not bad. Will it take some getting used
Take
to it?
everything you can.
Skills have 3 levels of rarity: ordinary, wicked, and demonic. When you obtain a skill for the 3rd time, the 3 fuse together to form a skill with the next level of rarity. Afterwards, you'll discover a skill with higher rarity of the same disciple. So we can... Ah, that's why there were 2 things of it. Alright. Choose a skill. 14 to 21. I'm gonna go stabbing. I like Bloody Mary.
With
And that
that,
frees up a slot.
the humans will finally submit to my yoke.
Oh, I can take another, can I? Can I? I'm not sure. Yeah. And then the awakening, the Styx fountain. Click to move to the next step. You can smell the noxious waters of the Styx even before you see the source. Observe the scene to gather more information. The waters of the Styx bubble up in the form of fountains at certain spots spread around the world. You can use its waters to regenerate your diabolic essence or purge your disciples' negative traits. Click on the interactive element to interact. Fine. You can only withdraw energy from this source one time. Your disciples assemble around the altar awaiting your orders.
There's nothing like the vile waters of the Styx
We've
to
got no negative
invigorate
traits.
me.
So we get some
I
essence back.
feel my strength increasing.
Now we only need 14. Does it take to 20 and gives us surplus or not? Nope, just puts us back to max. Alright, move to the next zone. It's not a combat zone. Choose a... I missed what that said.
This
got 9.
forest isn't so terrifying. Not yet.
Completing this event unlocks access to the following zone. Yeah, okay. This is an event type. The selected disciple will undertake the social test and receive a trait at the end. I need to do, apparently, Headless Horseman. Choose a disciple to pass the social tests and receive the associated traits. Is this the traits you get?
What are my orders?
Click anywhere to see the next part of the text. Alright. Your disciples stumble upon a young man shooting at straw targets and with a crossbow. He's startled when he notices them and he points his weapons in their direction. You are, I recognise you. My master told me about you. You're the devil's emissaries. And you're an apprentice demon hunter. You're in a bad place right now, aren't you, my friend? I'm going to annihilate you and become a legend in my own time. I'll be the greatest demon hunter ever. You know what this reminds me of? The old joke about General Custer. That, you know, General Custer was taken down by Native Americans. He was attacking. There's an old joke that he and his small set of troops were camping one night, and they woke up the next day surrounded by Native American braves, Native American warriors. Thousands upon thousands from all tribes around. And he rolled over to his second in command and said, "Hey, wake up. We're going to get rich off their scalps." Firstly, how offensive it was, and secondly, yeah, stupid. Alright, so yeah, stupid. You're an apprentice. You ain't doing nothing. Despite his boasting, the kid can barely hide the fact that he's shaking in his boots. You could almost feel sorry for him, but his naivety annoys you. There must be a way to use him to your advantage. Observe the scene to gather more information. This kid already fancied himself as a new Van Helsing, even though he'd never looked evil in the face until a few minutes ago. This time he has come to let him taste. The time has come to let him taste the horrors only you know. Click the interactive. Alright, that's him. Looks like the Headless Horseman looks the kid up and down suspiciously. As events unfold, you will have to make choices that influence how the story progresses and the reward you receive. Certain actions are social tests, and passing them depends on your disciple's characteristics. The actions that require a test have a greater potential, but unless you cheat, take the risk of failing them. Going to devil mode to cheat, so I have to cheat here.
If you want something done right, do it yourself.
Ah, okay. Slide the success gauge up to 100. I gotta do this one.
I am irresistible.
Terrorize him.
My power is absolute.
You give the orders, I carry them out.
Headless Horseman infiltrates the apprentice mind and makes worst nightmares come true. Shadow creatures begin crawling through the ground, on the ground toward him, and over his skin. Anything goes when it comes to accomplishing my missions, even magic. At my age, I am very hard to impress. Congratulations, says Dracula. It's a soldier's duty to master all the weapons in his arsenal, said the Headless Horseman.
It's not my head, but it'll do.
See the following trait: Playful, +2 temptation, +2 ruse, +5 max spiritual points.
Knowledge is power.
Dracula receives a trait: Playful. Same.
It's not my head, but it'll do.
Headless Horseman receives Medium, +2 temptation, +1 spiritual damage, +6 spiritual points. Disciples' reactions. Disciples sometimes react after some social test, depending on their temper. Each disciple has more or less chances to react positively. A reaction can either involve the disciple who just passed the test, or be a conversion with another member of the team. Actions generate a trait for at least one of the participants, either positive or negative, depending on the reaction's nature. Livid with terror. Livid? That usually means angry. Alright. The apprentice hunter tries to kill... Oh, he is angry with terror. Okay. But they are only illusions, and he can't even touch them. Finally, he falls to his knees before your disciples. Have pity, make them stop. I'll do whatever you want. He is at the Headless Horseman's mercy. What should he do with him? Force him to betray the other demon hunters. Headless Horseman explains to him that the only way to make the creature disappear is by killing the other demon hunters he knows. Without a second's hesitation, the apprentice takes off running to the closest demon hunter refuge. It won't be long before the souls of those accursed upstarts are among your subjects.
Souls rotten with vice. Oh, they shall be very useful.
Souls are used as currency, we've got 300 here, to buy skills and relics from the Grim Reaper, or have him increase the rarity of a skill you already possess. I like this is good!
Not my head, but it'll do.
He's got Chilling Gaze, +3 scare, +1 spiritual damage, +4 maximum health. Traits are permanent and affect social and combat characteristics of the disciple who obtains them. The disciples can also receive negative traits when they fail social tests, or show negative reactions during events. Negative traits can be purged in the fountains of the stakes. Ah, like we just saw. Open the spellbook. The main page of the spellbook shows you the current state of each of your disciples, including skills, combat and social characteristics, traits and relics. Alright, so we've got Dracula. Turn to the second page, the devil, me. In the second page, the spellbook allows you, shows you the relics you possess that are not linked to specific disciple and details your demonic powers. Okay. Alright, so Devil's Powers, add or subtract 4 HP. Is this what we've done? Might be. Oh. Okay. Remove vulnerability status. Oh, these are the costs. So we can add 4 HP, add 4 SP, remove vulnerability from a combatant, move a status or swap 2 of the same category, recharge, kill, still subtract 30%, okay, create a portal, okay, so we've got a lot of stuff we can do. This Grim Reaper. Sell your soul to the Grim Reaper. Monoliths. Let's see what that one is. Completing this activity unlocks access to the following zones. In a secret meeting place hidden from mortals, your disciples meet with the Grim Reaper. It's time to do some business. Alright, have a scout. Numerous eyes observe you from underneath the Grim Reaper's hub. You have no idea what he does with all the souls he collects. As long as he respects the deals he makes with you, it's not your concern.
Ah, a conductor of souls. All those innocent souls I harvested will finally be of use.
The Grim Reaper offers you skills and relics in exchange for souls. It can also increase the rarity of a skill you already possess. To do so, you need to keep the skill until the next time you meet him. Here you can see how many souls you have, 340. Yeah. Buy a skill. Buy a skill. Oh, I can skill up there.
I am pleased with these offerings. Take them.
Target analysis. Fragment of your power freshly harvested from mortal souls. What else can I offer you in exchange for these souls? Buy a relic. Alright. Even more than skills, relics are powerful assets that help you progress. Though they can be obtained from the Grim Reaper during certain events, the shortest way to get them is by defeating elite adversaries. The holder begins with 2 haste, alright. One way to upgrade the rarity of a skill is to leave it to the Grim Reaper. This, and the skill you leave will not be in the Disciples' inventory anymore. You can find the reminder of the skill next to the minimap. The Grim Reaper will return the upgraded skill to you at the beginning of the next visit. Do that one. You want me to keep Mirror Blade? Yes, confirm it. I'll keep the Mirror Blade in order to augment its rarity and return it to you at the next meeting. What else would you like to exchange? We can wait. Right, and this would be... This is a choice, I guess. Go to the Sanctuary of the Sanctuary Lumen to investigate. We'll pop in there. We're probably not going to finish it, but we'll see.
My disciples enter the Sanctua Lumen sanctuary and determine that it has well and truly replaced the old religions. Priest and warrior monks trained to fight the creatures of the night. Vampires and werewolves rot in silver cages. My disciples swoop upon this new enemy, and soon lifeless bodies litter the sanctuary's floor. A handful of survivors are charged with spreading the word of my return. We then leave for the last known bastion of Van Helsing.
Epilogue. Find Van Helsing and his last known dwelling place. Alright, we're actually going to end... I mean, I could carry on. Let's just see what this book thing is. How do we get to it? There's a combat there. Combat there. I guess that's when you choose the way. Choose a disciple to be the main actor. The disciples observe numerous footprints in the mud. As they approach, they can sense that the force of good.
The Curse will pay for that.
Following effects will affect the zones situated in 2 nights. On arrival in this zone, the devil loses 10 max essence. Ooh, that's not good. We are going to end there. Oh, I can't go back because I've chosen. Ah, interesting. Yeah, we're going to end there because we've had a good look at what's on offer. Just a let's try. I know we'll only stop about 30 minutes. I'm at 38 here. Alright. Graphics. I love the cartoony graphics we've got here. They really suit the theme. It suits the voiceover too, because that's a little melodramatic, shall we say. That's cool. It really suits the theme. It really suits what we got going on here. The music... So graphics, I'm going to give them about an 8 for this type of game. The music, I'll give that a 7. It's not noticeable, it's not major. I'm tempted to give it higher. The music, yeah, I am. I'm going to give it an 8 as well. The music works nice. It's not invasive and it's just there. It's atmospheric. I might even give it a 9. I'm tempted because it's atmospheric. It's not invasive, and music really shouldn't be. It should be complementary usually.
Move, get going, do something.
There are
times
a
reign of terror to install.
That you want the music to be predominant, but usually you want it to complement what's going on, and it does. Yeah, I've got to give it a 9. The characters, I'm giving them an 8 because I want to know more about them already. They're using historical myths. They're not making up their own, so it's going to be interesting to see how they do. The world, again, I've got to give it an 8 or a 9. It's fascinating, to me at least. It's something I want to see more. I'll give it an 8, not a 9, because it's a little simplistic the way you're following a path through it. Of course, this is the tutorial zone. That might not stay the case. I think it will, though. The controls. fairly complex for a game like this. There is a lot of depth to what you choose to do, how you do things. Not sure if that's a positive or a negative. I think overall it's a positive. It's going to be a lot to adapt to at first and remember, especially for a senile old bugger like me. But I think that's a positive, so I'll give that an 8 as well. Easy to see what you're doing. Maybe a little complex to remember at first, but that doesn't mean you can't get used to it. So yeah, I'll give him an 8. Gameplay itself, the overall feel, I like it. I'm going to give it a 9 so far. Might not stay a 9, this is just a let's look, but this is really good to me. So overall, I'm going to give this, I think, an 8.5. This may be my favourite thing of this month's Humble Bundle. There you go. Anyway, let's exit this. Oh, the other things. Is it worth $1.50? Does it cover its slot in Humble Bundle? Oh, bloody hell, yes. Don't be silly. Does it cover the $12? If anyone thinks this is not worth $12, it means they're really not interested in this kind of game, or they're extremely critical. Because this is worth more than a cheap meal out. Come on. A cheap takeout. Come on. But yeah, it's worth a Humble Bundle. Would it fit in channel? Oh, bloody hell, yes, I like this. It would fit in... Because the channel basically does strategy, roleplay, and some sim. Some types of sim. And when... Oh, I should say narrative. When I say roleplay, narrative, like Wolf Among Us as well, and things like that. So yeah, it's got a decent storyline, or it's got a storyline of a kind going on. It's got characterization. It fits nice. Is there any point in you folks asking for it to come to channel? Yes, if there's interest, it's going to happen at some point. Is it likely to come to channel of my own accord? It might well do. I really do like this game, from what I've seen so far. The only problem with it is finding a slot. Humble Bundle games are usually older games. I don't know if there's going to be a slot coming up. Right now I'm kind of full, although I might at some point move Hotel Renovator off. One Militia Camp is iffy. Pale Beyond might have dropped anyway, we'll see. But yeah, it might well do. So with that, I've got to give this a win for Humble Bundle, at least from my perspective. Close the game and have a closing look at Humble Bundle. Biomutant. I like the look of it. I'm not good at action, but I'm going to call that a win for me. Again, finding time to play them, there's not enough hours in the day for my games, let's face it. I've got way too many. So I don't know how much progress I'll make with any of the games that I even like on here. But I've got to call Biomutant a win, I like it. Jurassic World Evolution wasn't really my thing when I tried it. Hopefully whoever grabbed it enjoys it. So I'll call that... It's certainly worth its slot. I'll call it a partial win. Edge of Eternity, again, it sounds like they've overreached from what I've seen from comments on Steam. Oh, hang on. Sorry about that. We had a bit of a black screen there. There we are. Sorry about that. So, Biomutant win. Jurassic World Evolution, partial win. Edge of Eternity, it sounds like they've overreached, so it might get bad in the end. Same with Biomutant. But from what I've seen from the Let's Look, it's a win. Heroes Hour, a partial win at least. It's unusual from what I've seen. It's different from what I've ever done before. It's got some complexity and some interest. I don't know if I'd call it a full win, certainly a partial win. Rogue Lords is another win as far as I'm concerned. Demon Turf, a partial win. It was interesting to try it. It's not my style of game, so I won't be going back to it. Golden Light and Monster Crown, absolute fails for me. Again, this is all my opinion, and although I call it my humble opinion because it's about Humble Bundle, it should be seen as a humble opinion because mine's no more important than anyone else's. But for me, Golden Light and Monster Crown were... Oh, Monster Crown even worse than Golden Light, but neither of them should have been there. Now, maybe you enjoyed them, in which case, good luck to you. But for me, no. But with Biomutant, Edge of Eternity and Rogue Lords all being full-on wins, and these three being at least partial wins, that really doesn't count for me anyway because I own it already. Heroes Hour possibly being a full win. This is not a bad Humble Bundle, to be honest. I want to see what the rating is on that. 73% mostly positive. All right. And Heroes Hour, 78% mostly positive. Age of Eternity, 78%. Biomutant only got 67. All right, then. These make this a decent bundle for me. Really. And if there's any interest in them, I'll even think about bringing Heroes Hour if there's interest in it. I need comments to show there is. Biomutant, Age of Eternity, Rogue Lords. I see interest. There's a decent chance it'll come. I might even bring them if I get free slots myself because I like the look of them. All right, I'll see you on.